Welcome back to Royal Production, where we bring you the latest in crypto news, blockchain, and anything to do with our new infrastructure. My name is Louis, and if you guys enjoy the content, you know what to do. Let's get right into these markets. 2.2 trillion for the total market cap. Fear and greed index sitting at 31. Bitcoin is at 64. We needed to hit that 67 mark. We'll cover some of that in a bit. Ethereum 1700, XRP $1.10, Solana 77. Hyperliquid 67, and make sure y'all load up on your bags. This is a great time. I'm not saying we're at bottoms, but this is a good area, not financial advice. Always do your own research. Remember, everything I cover will be linked down below so you can read the articles yourself. Moving on. First article I have for you guys today is New Clarity Act draft could land next week as Senate faces 60 vote test. All right. Circle soars after securing U.S. trust bank approval and crypto expansion. It's beautiful news for them. Circle's been making moves for a long time, and they're getting the right approvals. All right. Crypto defies equity weakness as altcoin optimism builds into the weekend. All right, and we'll cover some price analytics right now. I have it here. I'll turn on what I have, and then we'll go through it. Okay, in a bit. All right. Crypto Quant CEO tells Bitcoin holders to hang in there, and that bullish opium is coming. He also gives a timeline for that, so we'll cover that in a bit. And remember, these are signals, y'all. Pay attention to them. Read between the lines of what these people are saying and doing, okay? And always do your own research. I have to always reiterate that. But OKX, MetaMask, Matter Labs back dispute resolution court for AI agents. Yes, you heard that correctly. Court for AI agents. Yeah, it's getting crazy, y'all. It's getting crazy. Next, Mara shares jumped 13% after 2 gigawatt Texas power deal for AI and Bitcoin growth. So basically, they purchased their own AI power grid or power grid for their AI. But we're covering all that news coming up next. Alrighty, let's dive right in. So, New Clarity Act draft could land next week as Senate faces 60 vote test. So, lawmakers may unveil a merged version of the Digital Asset Market Clarity Act next week, potentially, with Senate floor action eyed for July 20th. So, let's go down here really quick. A new draft would fuse a version produced by the Senate Banking of Agriculture Committee into a single text. Reporters following the effort said more than 70 pages of text have been added to the unified version, which is described as placing heavier emphasis on consumer protections than earlier drafts. I don't know about these consumer protections. I haven't really read the new 70 pages. If y'all have, let me know what y'all think about it down below. But I really just think this is something to stop the consumer from becoming wealthy from these assets, because it's one of those things where it's like Loomis down here, as you guys, if you guys haven't been paying attention, she always has let them know, like, we put 16 safeguards in there to the point where it protects the consumer, but it doesn't put the consumer in a box so the consumer can still be part of this market. You know what I mean? So who said this right here? But I believe is a statement right here: consumer friendly disclosure framework for digital assets not retrofitted from 1933, built for 2026 and beyond. So I believe this was Senator Loomis's what she said. But it's pretty crazy, like what's going on with this. We really need clarity. But the biggest key takeaway here is, with only 3 weeks, only 3 working weeks in July and the first week of August left before lawmakers scatter for a summer break and attention shift to fall midterm elections. The July 30th to August 7th stretch stands to be a decisive window for industry's best shot at federal market structure rules. So they go into recess soon, and I believe this is in August. So we really have to get this done. If it doesn't get done, like they said, they're going to start focusing on other things, and it will be probably just pushed down the line. And I think something like that might happen, but you never know. Hopefully they can just, get rid of their disagreements and come together on one unified plan. But we'll see. Moving on. Circle soars after securing U.S. trust bank approval and crypto expansion. So down here, Circle, issuer of the world's second largest stablecoin USDC, received approval from the U.S. Office of the Controller of the Currency, OCC, and established a national trust bank. I feel like I can't read right now. It's too much. Anyways, moving on. Where is it? Right here. Oh, national trust banks are authorized to provide users with custody and fiduciary services, but not accept consumer deposits or more loans like traditional commercial banks. So what I see here is this right here: not accept consumer deposits or make loans like traditional commercial banks. So if they're already moving into getting these proper approvals from like the OCC, then sooner or later I think they will also get this part of it. It's like a stepping stone. You need one to get the next, and I believe Circle, like I said, the world's second largest stable coin, it just makes sense that they'll soon be a bank where they can do everything a bank can do and even more because they're blockchain technology. But we'll see. I like Circle, the company and the stablecoin, because they do it correctly, unlike Tether, but we're not gonna get into that right now. Okay, moving on. All right, Bitcoin price. I know you guys, everyone's shaky about Bitcoin right now. It's crazy what's going on with this market. I'm gonna just jump right over to the charts because I can explain it better there. So we have this point right here, this high point, 67. All right, always do your own charts and your own analysis. This is mine, but you can see on this level where we came down from. Okay, and he talks about this next article we cover. He talks about this top that we had up, I believe is, and let me see, that's not the top. Let's go back really quick. Let me change this for y'all. Go to the day. All right, here we go. So this top over here. So this was in September, October 2025. We'll cover that in a bit, but let's go back. All right. Okay. So what I see, basically what's happening with this market is, let's make it better for y'all. Let's start these charts. Okay. So let's look at it really quick. So we have these major levels, in my opinion. It came down here. You get me, twice it touched it a couple of times. All right, but this is the main level we're at now. As you guys can see, this retracement, it touches it right here. So if we can hold this and go up towards this like high, this is the next major break level. So we have this one right here, the 64, but then we have the 65 and then the 67, which is up here, which is 100%. So from this level we came down, we touched it twice. If we can keep, and as you guys can see, this chart touched it, came down, touched it, broke it a little bit, came down, touched it here, came up. So this is not exactly fitting the structure, but you can see the pattern in here, correct? And remember, you're never going to get a perfect chart, never. All right, I don't care what anybody tells you. There's no such thing as a perfect chart to get in and get out. It just doesn't work like that. Like mathematically, our world doesn't work like that. So this is not gonna work like that. This is imperfect. Anyways, moving on. These are the key levels we have to pay attention to, but I think it's gonna drag out a little longer. I believe we can come back down here, but we will see. All right, moving on to the next article, and this is why I say what I said. So CryptoQuant CEO tells Bitcoin holders to hang in there and that the bullish opium is coming. And if you guys want to read it, basically he says, in his opinion, the CryptoQuant CEO has warned that the bear market that turned October 2025, and we just saw that, let's go back to the date, 2025, right, when we had this high right here, October 2025, you can see it at the bottom right here. All right, he basically thinks it could run into early 2027. So if we go back to the chart and we go to 2027, let's see, doesn't even go that far, huh? Early 2027, October 2027. Let's go. So right here, this is when early 2027. So all the way over here, we still have a lot of work to do. Either we range in between this market until we get there, or we come out, which I don't think over this time frame from here to here, this is a shorter time frame. So I don't think we're gonna pierce this or even get close to it until maybe after 2027, like he's saying. So remember, always do your own research. Understand, like, no one has the perfect calculations or even the perfect information. You have to always understand what it means to you and your operating system. All right, moving on. Okay, OKX MetaMask Labs back dispute resolution court for AI agents. Okay, as you can see here, it basically, I don't know if you guys seen the memes, but like there's people online who took like 3 phones with AI, and it basically told the AI to count to 100. 3 different AIs told them to communicate together and then count to 100. They couldn't even get past 5 because they were too busy debating. Okay, I go first and then you go first. Okay, perfect. Then I'll go next. And then they kept going in a big circle because it's like the AI, it works, but it's not how we think it is. You know what I mean? So these days, AI agents negotiate and pay one another without humans in the loop. But as with human to human transactions, agent to agent transactions will run into contractual disagreements. So when we talk about like the ledger and how some of these payments get settled using AI, so basically the market maker will go out, find the best market for your transaction and then complete it. But when you have 2 agents, you get me, disagreeing on which is the best swap, then you have to kind of mitigate it. You have to be the one to set up these courts and set up an infrastructure for them to communicate and come out of the dispute with the right answer instead of fighting back and forth like, no, I'm right, no, I'm right. It's kind of like people, but it's AI now. But the problem is that agentic systems have no way to settle these disputes, and traditional courts are not built to handle such cases. Hence the need for the 27 firm-backed protocol led by Gen Layer Foundation, which makes AI-based payments, escrow, and dispute resolutions interoperable, according to the press release. So yeah, we're getting to some crazy times, y'all. Hopefully you guys are paying attention, and a lot of this stuff's being built without the public being aware of it. Yes, they put these articles out there, but who's really reading it and coming across it? It's not on our algorithm. Most people's algorithm is I don't know. I'm not gonna get into that. All right, last article I have for you guys today. Mara shares jumped 13% after 2 gigawatt Texas power deal for AI and Bitcoin growth. So they basically bought a AI power grid to help them with their AI infrastructure and also Bitcoin mining. I don't know how heavily they're going to get into the Bitcoin mining. I think they're going to more or less be focused on the data of AI. But if you guys don't know what 2 gigawatts of power is, I did it for you guys right here. 2 gigawatts of power is equal to 2 billion watts, of course, but it powers roughly 350,000 to 750,000 homes, depending on the type of home and stuff like that. It's pretty crazy that I think, like, the other day I was thinking about this. Okay, we're putting so much energy into these data places, you know, that are taking so much power and consuming power. I think it's one of those things where it's like, yes, we're having this happen with these AI data centers, but once we get this data like organized, we won't need as much power. And on top of that, it's kind of like instead of saying more, you can say more with less. And that's how I see the data. Like, I think we're collecting a lot of BS data that we do not need to be collecting, like people's fucking conversations. I get it. Listen, excuse my language, I get it. Yes, the government needs to know what's happening. Yes, I understand that. But on top of that, I think after we get past this moment, we're going to be able to take these infrastructures like this, and with the data we've been able to accumulate over time, create new infrastructure that isn't so, I guess, archaic or barbaric. You know what I mean? To the point where maybe we start really utilizing the sun's rays that's on our planet. And I'm not talking about just solar panels. I'm talking about a new type of technology that we don't even know about yet because the data hasn't been collected for it. But again, we're in some crazy times. Hopefully you guys are aware of what's happening. Like, I appreciate you guys for being here. If you stay to the end of the video, I'm out. Have a beautiful Friday. Until next time.